Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Droid Life Show, episode 27 tonight. I'm your host, Kellen. Rest of the Droid Life team here with me as well. Tim, Ron, and Eric. Everybody say hi real quick.
Hello, hello.
Hey, guys.
Hola.
So another good show ahead of us. While big news has sort of avoided us over the last week or so, there's still a lot of stuff going on, like Verizon finally confirmed they will carry the HTC One. So it's
Nailed it. I called it.
We also want to talk about this new, well, I've just sort of dubbed it the Nexus Experience program because now we've got 2 devices in it. There's rumors that there's a third one coming out. So we kind of want to talk just a little bit more about this Nexus Experience thing and what we think about it. How about staged rollout of apps? So over the last couple of weeks, with like the Gmail update, there was a Hangouts update today. Google's using staged rollouts now, so you're not necessarily getting apps when everyone else is. See what you guys think about that. And speaking of new Gmail, we just want to get everyone's thoughts on the new Gmail. If they like it, love it, things they hate about it or love about it. The Galaxy S4 Active sounds random that we want to talk about it, but for some reason, like Eric and I were talking this morning, how it kind of looks like a legit phone.
Yeah, it
Maybe
does.
even nicer than the regular Galaxy S4. Then we got some apps and games we want to talk about. We'll wrap it up. Try to keep it around an hour, so stick with us. So let's start first with this. Finally, HTC One confirmation on Verizon. So on, I believe it was that Monday. Monday they sent out a tweet through their official VZW News account and said, "Yes, we're confirming it's coming later this summer." That's all we're going to tell you right now. So we don't know price, though we would assume it's $199 on contracts. We don't know storage, though we would assume it's going to be a 32 gig version. It's definitely the Sense version. It's not going to be the like stock Google Play version or anything like that. Later this summer could mean anything, though. That could mean July, August, whenever summer ends, the very last day. Verizon's known for doing things like that. We asked everyone, though, if you're going to wait for the HTC One to come out on Verizon and buy it, even though you could buy like the Galaxy S4 right now, or Motorola may come out with something. What do you guys think? Eric, let's start with you because I know you're kind of a One fanboy.
I am.
Are you going to wait for this thing and pick it up, or do you not care?
No, I was really pumped when I heard that. I did a double take when I first heard that it was coming out because I didn't believe it. I had to wait a couple hours for the tweet not to get deleted and have them say, "Oh, well, one of our, social media people got ahead of themselves and blah blah blah." But yeah, I'm definitely gonna wait and see what they have up their sleeve because at that point, there's no downside to waiting. At that point, hopefully we're gonna know what Motorola is doing, and then if you don't like what Motorola is doing and you don't like the One, then you just get the S4 and everybody wins.
All about that patience, I guess, which Tim and I apparently don't have. Tim, what did you think about they finally announced it? Is it just too late to really even matter anymore, or is it still plenty of time?
That's a fantastic question. I think it is a little, well, I mean, I don't know what too late would be exactly, but it feels too late, I mean, at least to us, because we've known about this phone for so long. I guess kind of like the buzz has died down. And what's up with them announcing it through like a Twitter, just a tweet?
Yeah.
I understand like the world we live in, where like you get all your latest and greatest news from Twitter, but like if you're a company and you're announcing such a huge thing, you could give us a little bit more than a tweet. I think that I was offended.
I feel like the Viva
as a
Mobile should have been a
journalist-
tweet.
Oh my God, that should have been less than a tweet.
Yeah.
So either way, I think it's good. It's not going to be a bad thing. So either way, I'm excited because I think the One is a great device. It might not be the Galaxy S4, but it's a great device, and I think people will really like it on Verizon.
S4 fanboy in the making. Ron, you like the
sorry.
HTC One over the Galaxy S4, and you're also a Verizon guy. Thinking about picking up the HTC One when it comes out, whenever later this summer is?
Maybe. I mean, it kind of depends. That's the thing. I think by the time it comes out, they say summer, which I'm guessing means like deep into August.
Right.
So, I mean, who knows? I mean, by then we might have the Moto X, and that might seem more appealing. So, we'll see. I mean, it'd be a little bit more tempting if it was like the developer edition or the Google edition or whatever we're calling that on Verizon. That would be a little bit more appealing, just so I could get some updates regularly. But
That's not going to happen.
no. Nope, not going to happen. So yeah, I mean, I guess it'll kind of depend. I'm kind of waiting to see what Motorola comes out with in terms of hardware, because that's you can do whatever you want to the software. So there'll be developers for all those phones. So I just want to see what Motorola's hardware is because they have had good hardware in the past. So I'd like to see what they come out with.
Yeah, we ran a poll about the HTC One, and the number one answer was no, I'm going to wait to see what Motorola offers. It's like 37%, which you should. I mean, Motorola, when Dennis Woodside was on stage at D11 or whatever it was called last week, he said, like, we're making phones with stuff that no one's ever seen before. So right now would be kind of a silly time, I think, to buy a new phone just because Motorola is going to put something out. And even if it's mid-range on specs, I think they're probably going to do some cool stuff to at least give you a reason to give their phones a look, even if they are sort of mid-range in terms of specs. So yeah, I mean, I think at this point, if you've been waiting for the HTC One, hoping that it was going to come, you should probably just continue to wait to see what everyone else has to do, and then if nothing impresses you, get the One. So.
I think it kind of sucks. It's just kind of like a crappy time in general to be wanting to get a phone because you have the S4, you have the One, and then sure, people might want to wait for Moto, but then people are going to want to see what the Note 3 is going to be. And then after the Note 3, man, we got to wait for the Galaxy S5. And like then you got to know what
Nexus.
Yeah, and it's a never-ending thing. I mean, we always say you might want to wait, but if you like a phone and you think it's good, like the Galaxy S4 or the One right now are top-tier devices. They're fine. If you think you want to get a phone, just go for it. I mean, the Moto phone, sure, it could be totally awesome, but then again, it could totally blow. Just because, Yep.
And then when that comes out, you're going to be like, well, December's right around the corner. What if there's a new Nexus coming out?
Exactly. Like the last phone from Moto to actually impress me and make me buy it was the original Droid. Everything else has been not even on my radar in terms of I might want to buy that.
Are you sure? What if it came in purple?
The Droid 3, yeah. Or the Droid 4. That one was great, too.
Not even the Droid X? You didn't like the Droid X?
Well, I mean, I liked it, but I was already on contract with the Droid for another year. So it didn't even matter at that point. Because yeah. So that's the thing.
The Droid X looked so big when it first came out.
Oh, it was
huge.
It was gigantic.
Gigahertz processor.
That Steve Jobs called a Hummer.
Yeah.
He's like, people are buying Hummers, and it was like 4.3 inches.
And it had like the giant like round eye and the little things that showed up on the side, so you click down to a special screen on there.
It was great, and that was like Moto blur, like holy.
That was
they hadn't quite started denying it yet.
Yeah, good time.
That was Motorola's introduction of the hump on the back. They're like, our phone is the thinnest on the planet if you don't count the hump. They just like went to like the skinniest part, and they're like, look at how thin that is.
Man, how did "don't count the hump" not become a hashtag at some point?
Don't count the hump.
But
either way, so it's hard to like say, okay, I'm finally going to settle on a device when we always know that something better is around the corner.
Yeah. For me personally, though, it's right now. I've been waiting too long. This Galaxy Nexus is on the outs, and it's going to come down to the S4, the HTC One, or whatever Moto has, and at the end, when each of them are available and I've played with them and I've made a decision, I'm going to pick one of them. So, I mean, I'm more decisive than most people, though, so I guarantee there are some people that are just stuck in limbo forever saying, oh, well, the next best thing's coming out, and they're just never going to upgrade ever.
It has gotten better, though. I mean, it's not like there's a new phone coming out every month.
Yeah, that's true.
It used to be
which is actually kind of nice.
It used to be horrible.
It used to be crazy. So I would agree that there's always something new coming out, but like right now you do have two really nice options, the Galaxy S4 and HTC One, but Motorola is doing something new because it's their new leadership. So this is the first time they're going to do something really, really new in probably like 3 or 4 years, probably since the original Droid that matters. So that's the only reason I would say right now you should probably wait like just another month or two, but yeah. After that, just buy, because then you're right. You're in that cycle of Note in the holiday season, new Nexus in the holiday season. There'll probably be something else from Motorola then. So yeah, you could do it forever. But it's funny that you bring up the Galaxy Nexus. I don't know, this is sort of off topic, but come this holiday season, there's going to be a ton of people that have upgrades because they all bought. They went from the original Droid to the Galaxy Nexus because they were both holidays. And then this is their second year, so all those people, like every time we run a poll, I think we just did one last week that said, what's your current phone? And the Galaxy Nexus still topped it. All those people are going to have upgrades coming up in the next few months, so hopefully they have something good to buy.
Yep. Galaxy Nexus, remember those lines the day of, the morning of?
Was there a
There was a
line
line
for
in
that
my
phone?
store. There was a line in my store.
There
was
were
a line.
some. I mean, they weren't like giant, but
We stood in that line, Kellen, at like 7
Did we
a.m.
stand?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the one that was like a half a block long, right? Which is pretty good for an Android phone.
Half a block. It's kind of cutting there. It's exaggerating.
You walk uphill both ways to get there.
Yeah, there was
Well,
like
it's
10. There was
half a
like
block 'cause
10,
the store's
15
halfway through the
people.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. And then also, didn't we stand in line for the Bionic too? And that
Yeah,
was
there was
that
people
was-
there for that too.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was good
God.
times.
poor people.
Please.
Ridiculous. I know, poor
Oh, please. Bionic.
But speaking of Verizon, we wanted to talk about this piece that J.R. Raphael from Computer World wrote up yesterday, I believe, and he talked about why Verizon's no longer a place for Android enthusiasts, and he basically ran down a list of stuff like they no longer get phones in a timely manner. So like Galaxy S4, they got a month later than everyone. HTC One, they still don't have. They screwed up their Nexus. Their attempt at having a Nexus device, so they're probably never going to have a Nexus again because they can't put out updates in a timely manner. They run on CDMA, which means they get to pick and choose whatever the hell they want to run on their network. They don't issue software updates to any other phone in a timely manner. They're not going to get these Nexus Experience devices because those are GSM devices. He sort of ran down this entire list of why it kind of sucks if you're stuck on Verizon but are an Android enthusiast. I don't know if you guys had a chance to read that, but I sort of agree with everything he said. Like, I've even found myself, and I consider myself sort of a Verizon fanboy. I mean, you know, the original Droid and all these Verizon phones are what helped us, you know, us keep this site going. But in the last like year or so, I find myself buying unlocked phones like Nexus 4, or the HTC One unlocked, because I can take them to whatever carrier I want. I know they're going to get updates quicker than anybody else. And Verizon just doesn't even offer anything like that anymore. I guess until we get like a full VoLTE network, which is probably a couple years away. Like, I don't know that you're ever gonna be able to see, you know, Verizon the same as it once was, where they had new phones right away. But I don't know if you guys had a chance to read that. But do you have any thoughts on that?
I peeked at it. I see that. Like, I get the points, but at the same time, I mean, I enjoy Verizon Android devices. I know they might come later, but they do come. And you can work with them. You can get ROMs on them and all that stuff. I mean, they do come eventually. Sure, if you want like a Nexus device, it's probably not the best. But I mean, the thing is, Verizon is so huge and they cover so many people. Like, it's not about. I know like a lot of people get to pick and choose what carrier they might want to be on, but a lot of people don't. So I think that's kind of like one of the points. If you live in an area where Verizon is and you happen to like Android, well then I guess you're kind of screwed. But yeah, either way, I don't think that Verizon's all that bad. I wouldn't be able to write a whole opinion piece about it. So more power to them. But yeah, that's it.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. We were talking about this last week, you know, and it's not just how it sucks to be on Verizon. It's how Verizon has say over pretty much whatever Android's doing, you know, because they're the biggest. And because they're different with their CDMA, you know, it throws a wrench in everything, you know. So I agree completely with, you know, what he said in that article.
Yeah, and he's talking about, you know, a pretty small group of people. It's obviously not just general public. He's saying, you know, the enthusiasts, the people like us, that want new phones all the time, right when they come out. We want updates right when they come out, all that stuff. You just can't get that with Verizon. But like you said, Tim, if you're really an Android enthusiast and you're on Verizon and maybe that's your only choice, you're probably putting a ROM on your phone, so you're still getting software early anyway. So.
You're going to make it work. If you're an actual Android enthusiast, I don't know what he defines as an enthusiast. I would hope he puts that in his article, because an enthusiast to me is someone who reads a site, who wants to flash ROMs, root phones, blah, blah, blah. If you are a real enthusiast, you will find a way to make your phone work just how you want it to.
Find a way.
Exactly. So being on Verizon or any carrier, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Talking for the sake of talking, I don't know. I think Verizon's good. They have good coverage. I'm sorry this guy must have been hurt by them. I don't know. I'm a little like all right.
No, I mean, I don't think he's
on.
disputing that they have bad coverage. It's just
no,
that
he's not.
He's bringing about the stupid stuff that we talk about, that how they take 6 months to do their updates and you know, stuff like that.
They get the Galaxy S4 a month later than everyone else in the entire world. That's,
Yeah, for
let's
like
just talk
no
about that
reason
stuff. Now,
other
it's frustrating,
than
but
just
Right.
word Verizon. You know?
Well, this stuff was frustrating like last year when it was actually like relevant. Now we just understand that Verizon sucks, and we just live with it, you know. And like we're seeing that AT&T is now like kind of the carrier to go if you're an Android enthusiast. I mean, they got all like the
Would've
power
thought.
devices and all that stuff. So.
who would have thought? Remember when AT&T wouldn't even let you sideload apps on their phones?
Oh man, it was
They used to
bad.
block that. Yeah.
Yeah, my friend
And
got
now-
the Atrix, and he was like, I was like, you should put, I think I was like, you should put a swipe keyboard on your phone. And he's like, how? And I was like, oh, you just like, here, I'll send it to your email, you install it from there. And he's like, I can. It says it's blocked. And I was like,
My phone just shut down.
yeah, I was like, your phone's cool because it has a fingerprint scanner, but we should probably take it back
right.
anyways.
Oh, remember that had a fingerprint scanner? Holy crap.
I do remember.
How many dumb ideas did Sanjay Jha have? Fingerprint
hey.
scanner, the docking stuff, the lap docks. I mean, that guy was just filled with terrible ideas.
I mean, was it really his idea to put a
Well, he was
fingerprint
running the
scanner on
show.
Yeah.
He approved it, I would guess.
it? Okay,
I
he
don't know.
approved it. I mean, anyone could approve something stupid, though, so.
I don't know. He had a knack for it. He was
He
pretty
did,
good at
yeah.
approving stupid crap. All right, so we'll move out of Verizon. But when you talk about Nexus stuff, we got another. I think this was right after we did the show last week, where HTC Nexus Experience One was confirmed. Yeah, I think it was the next morning after the show. So Sundar, Mr. Android head honcho, now went on D11 on stage and said, yes, the HTC One is going to have a Nexus experience just like the Galaxy S4. It's coming June 26th as well for $599. It's unlocked. Bootloader's unlocked. Gets updates directly from Google. It has Beats audio still, just always on. I know you guys
Always
really
on.
care about that.
No toggle.
Everything else is stock. He did say, or maybe Hugo Barra told The Verge or something, that they're working with HTC to make sure the camera works properly. So they may not even have the camera working yet, which is, if you're a ROM developer, you probably know all about getting cameras to work. That's always the first thing that goes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're
You
going
can
to work.
take pictures, but no video.
Yeah, no video. So they're going to apparently work to get the camera working so that it's not just a terrible 4-megapixel camera. So we'll see. That should be interesting to see what they do there. But yeah, so I just want to talk about, and we talked about this a little bit last week, but this Nexus Experience thing. Do you guys think we're going to see, is it just the new thing? Is everyone going to say, I want to be a part of that? Like, I think there was a rumor today that Sony is going to try to make the Xperia Z, the next Google Experience phone. Now, that would just be stupid. That phone's beyond its time, even though it was only released a few months ago. But, like, is everyone going to do that? I'm assuming Motorola is probably going to do it. They're owned by Google. I would assume if they release this Moto X on all carriers, they're also going to release one to Google Play. Now, I don't know that, but I would hope so. Is everyone just going to continue to do this? Are we going to now get to the point where we launch phones and they go, there's also going to be a Google Experience phone? I would hope that would be the case. We're not there yet, but I don't know. Do you guys have any more thoughts on just the Nexus Experience whole thing in general now that we've got 2 confirmed? They're coming out. The prices aren't really that low. You get a stock experience. Is it going to matter to consumers? Are we still just confused by this? I know, Ron, we talked last week how we were confused, like, why are they doing this? Is it any more clear now?
I don't think so at all. But it's kind of interesting what they're doing. Where they release the Google keyboard, and they're just kind of rolling out a lot more apps that are stock apps into the Play Store, so that anybody can just download them as long as you've got Ice Cream Sandwich or Jelly Bean, depending on the app. So it's kind of interesting that they're kind of just rolling out bits and pieces of the OS onto or what we used to consider the OS out onto the Play Store for everybody to have access to. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we get here's the Nexus launcher, and it changes your pull down bar and everything else, the notification bar and everything else like that. It just kind of seems like they're trying to push this. Maybe they just have a little package where you install this, you get everything Google software. If you want to have this is the Google experience, it seems like that's what they're moving towards. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I think that's what it seems like they're moving in that direction anyway. I don't know what they're going to do in terms of if they'll even market it or something like that, or if they're trying to it doesn't seem clear what their motives are, and we talked about that a little bit last week. It's just not clear why they're doing this. Why is there a Nexus Experience 1? Why is there a Nexus Experience S4? Because it's not for the money for either company. Nobody's making a ton of money off of those. They're already saying that they're going to have limited numbers of those, or at least that's the rumor. So So I'm not sure. That's the big question is what is the motivation behind this? Google seems to be talking up this whole Google experience or Nexus experience, whatever term they're going to end up giving it, but the why hasn't really been talked about, and that's a little bit more curious for me.
Yeah, I wonder, and I think we mentioned this last week as well, but how you said they're pulling out all these apps, or they're turning all these things into separate apps to Google Play. I wonder if they just keep breaking down Android, the OS in general, that it'll let them address maybe even the update situation and things like that. They can update the OS faster if they don't have to deal with all these apps and stuff. But yeah, the Nexus experience thing, I still don't necessarily get it either. Like because they didn't do, which we mentioned last week, they didn't drop the price really low like they did with the Nexus 4. So somebody's still trying to make a profit off the phone. I would assume Google must be getting some sort of cut off the phone, or it's a weird deal because it's $600. Oh, and by the way, they upped the HTC One unlocked version from $575 to $599 now. So if you didn't buy that already, now it's $25 more expensive. But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad they're doing it just because it gives you the option to buy top-tier phones with the stock experience and get updates faster and all that stuff. I'll be interested to see if they continue to do it going further, but it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing was kind of like what Kellen mentioned. I mean, you could get a Nexus 4, which, I mean, is still kind of like on par with the other flagships that are coming out in terms of performance. But still, you know, it's $300, and why these ones are twice as much? Really, they're not offering that much more. You know, it's still like vanilla Android. There's no software and like enhancements that like all that proprietary stuff is bringing. So it is very interesting. Yeah, who knows? I don't know who's making the money and all that stuff. But like Ron said, I do not know what the point is, but I like it. I mean, just for the simple fact that it's, you know, it's these flagship devices with vanilla Android. I mean, I haven't even like really looked into it much because I don't get it yet. So
no, and they haven't really made any statements about it. It's kind of interesting because if they're pushing this Google experience, like in a way, then they're competing with their partners, which no company has been able to do successfully. You know, we've seen companies like Microsoft toe the line with stuff like the Surface and things like that. But you know, like I don't like. What are you trying to do there? Because if you want to make the argument that your software is better, that it's better coming from Google and how they design it and everything else like that, fine. But they don't seem to like be really pushing that idea. They're just kind of saying, hey, it's out there if you want it, which is maybe that's all they're going to do. Maybe they won't, you know, do anything else with it. But that seems like it just seems a little strange to me.
They just need to allow people to, you know, switch back and forth if they really want. I mean, that's just like. If the rumor about HTC allowing people to switch to like a vanilla Android ROM or whatever, you know, takes sense off of their device, that would be like freaking amazing. But then, of course, allow people to go back too, just in case. But yeah,
that could change. That's actually good that you brought that up. That could change everything a lot. Like if manufacturers start releasing, you know, their new flagship phones or whatever, and they actually give you the option to get rid of their skin. That's something we've sort of dreamed about for years. Like dating back to some of the first skins, we were like, why can't, you know, we get one without the skin, or a way to flip back and forth between the two, or the option. And if HTC actually comes through and does that, it's kind of a big deal. That's something we've wanted forever. I don't know if they are. They haven't really come out and acknowledged that report, but it's a pretty big deal.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Nexus experience. We'll see where it goes. We got a couple of weeks. June 26th is the day it all unfolds. So I don't know. We'll try to get both the Galaxy S4 and the One in hand, just so we can do some comparisons to the regular versions and see if those things are actually worth your time whatsoever. But it should be fun. It'll give us something to play with for a while until Motorola drops something on us anyway. So on Twitter today, I mentioned that the staged rollout of apps from Google is driving me insane. And I just want to know, like, if you guys have noticed it. Like with the new Gmail app, it came out on Monday, but no one could install it except for a handful of people until today. It went live for everyone. There was a Hangouts update that came out, and Tim got it right away, but like I still don't think I can install it on any of my phones. I had to sideload it, and I was just kind of complaining over the fact that, you know, it sucks that we were accustomed to when an update went live, like we all got the update, and now it goes live, and a couple days later you might get it, and everyone, like a bunch of people on Twitter were like, "You guys just have no patience."
Yeah, don't you know that patience is a virtue, Kellen? Come on.
How many times do
Maybe you
we
should
hear that?
go outside, get some air. Stop worrying about updates so much.
These cave trolls.
Can't wait 2 days. You can't wait 2 days to get an update. The thing
it's
is,
ridiculous.
we're a little bit different than most people in the fact that we're in the news industry and we need the updates now so we can write about them and tell you about them now.
Yeah, if we just got put on the list of first updates for every app, then first rollout, then there wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, so that was kind of my point, and I know that's not the point for everyone. That's probably mostly just us. But at the same time, like if an app update comes out and we go, new app updates, this is awesome, and then everyone goes, I can't get it yet. I can't get it yet. So it just sucks for our industry. I know.
Not live for me yet. Like, okay.
Yeah, not live for me yet. That's what the comments get filled up with, and that sucks. People then get frustrated and they want stuff now because this guy has it and they don't. I don't know. It's just, and I get that Google's probably doing it's probably easier on their servers. It probably makes a lot of sense from a developer standpoint, but as an end user that was used to getting updates like the second they drop, it sucks. That's all I have to say about that.
I want to know, like, why should I have to? Kellen made the point earlier today that he was like, I don't want to have the same phone as someone, but they have like an updated app that I can't access. It's like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Does Apple do that? Like, does Apple, when they release an update, does it just slowly roll out? Like, you can just get it, right?
You just get it.
Yeah, so why is Android different now?
I don't know. I think it makes sense because they just announced it, and they're like, hey, look, we're going to use our own thing. You guys, all the developers should use it too. But, it's not like they've had problems rolling out apps in the past.
Right.
Just dropping it for everybody at the same second.
Well, someone was like, well, they want to make sure that there's no bugs in the app. And I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, they should probably just test it, in their own group of circle of testers or whatever, and then push it out to the world. Don't, just push it out to these people who probably, they're not testers. Like, even if there's something wrong, what percentage of these people are going to send feedback or whatever? I mean, that doesn't make sense. So.
Well, and how many, I know a ton of people that don't update their apps ever. My brother, my dad, I'll grab their phone or they'll go, hey, I've got 20 updates. And I'm like, you should have updated that 3 weeks ago. So a lot of people don't care. It's just a small group of internet crazy people that want to get updates and news and all that stuff. And I guess it's probably a couple of million people or something, but still I don't know. It just drives me nuts. And it's been going on now. Like you said, Eric, since they announced it at I.O., it's like they're testing it. They're like, look what you can do. Staged rollouts. We're doing it.
Yeah, and it makes sense for smaller developers who might not have the manpower to support a bunch of people hopping on their new update without crashing things. But
and if they want to make sure there's not a bug in there.
Yeah, but for Google, I think they can man up and just drop it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, if you're a small developer, you're not going to have access to all 800 billion different Android devices out there, so you're not really going to be able to test it. Google can probably test it. I'm guessing they've got all of them. So it doesn't.
I would hope so.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for Google to be doing that. I don't think. So they've got the servers to do it. They've got everything they need to do it. They were doing it before, so I'm not sure why they were doing it, except for they're trying to eat their own dog food. But
it sucks.
Don't eat your own dog food, kids.
Ridiculous.
So speaking of those apps, new Gmail, it's out. Everyone probably has it.
Yep.
And
well, it took me a while to get it because of the stage rollout. but I do.
You got it. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah,
I do
5
have
minutes
it.
before the show started, Tim finally got the update.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Anybody like it? Hate it?
It's cool. I'm growing, or it's growing on me. I'm not growing on it.
Growing inside of it.
Yeah.
Gmail's going to birth you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's growing on me. Just because I thought I hated it because it has the big sender boxes or whatever, which I guess we learned that we can disable now. But and then because I love our readers, they're so nice to point something out to us when we're wrong.
Seriously, I glanced over that thing 20 times because I kept looking you got to be able to turn this off. You got to be able to turn this off. Couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And then I write that, and everyone's like, "Dude, you can turn that shit off."
You're right.
Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, so there's little parts, I kind of like it now just because it kind of adds some color to it, and then also it's actually, if I'm looking for something, if I'm kind of scrolling through something faster, I can just look for the letter, because if I know who it's from or something like that. But other than that, I mean, I like the slide out, even though I honestly have not even used it. It just looks nice, I guess. I mean, other than that, I mean, it's a Gmail app, it's really nothing too special. I was looking at the pictures you posted about the iOS version, and that one, like, looks nice, Like, it's got nice dark tones, it's natural, it just looks good. This one is crap, I think, in comparison. But that's without me using it, so.
I would agree.
Yeah, I'll cut it.
This is another iOS thing. If when you pull to refresh in iOS, they're like this little. I think it's like this little circle at the top appears and does this like fancy animation. It looks all cool.
Of course.
And like the new one on Android, like you pull to refresh and all you get is like this little line up top. Yeah, it doesn't even match like any of the styling, and it says like refreshing or something. It's really.
Oh, you didn't want that to match, did you? That's weird.
No, we don't match in Android.
You didn't want the app to look anything like the web view for Gmail, did you?
No, we don't do that.
We still want to completely avoid matching the look of every other Gmail version, yes.
Yeah.
Which they've done. So what do you think about it, Ron? Have you used it at all?
Yeah, I've used it. It's fun. The little icons with the letter, if you don't have a contact picture, that they had that in the iOS version before, so it's nice that it's on the Android version. It is nicer to scroll through there. But I don't like the gray, the kind of two-tone off gray kind of look. I just don't like that look. I never have.
It's ugly. Yeah, it's ugly.
So I mean, it's Gmail. It does the same thing. There aren't a ton of differences. So I mean, it's basically the same app, just slightly prettier. But it'd be nicer if it looked like the web view. I mean, if it was consistent, I think that'd be better for users overall.
Yeah, it's like I said I just wrote up a little piece about it before the show, and like they really did. You used to have the drop down menu that listed your accounts and priority inbox and all that stuff. It's like they just took that and just pushed it to the side. And now it's just like on the side. Like that's all they did. They didn't really change the look of it. They just went and moved it over.
Yeah.
Now it's a slide out drawer, and all the fanboy kids go, yay! It's so cool. Eric, what do you think? Do you use it at all?
It works. I mean, I use it every day, and it still sends emails. It looks okay. I don't have any huge issues with it, to be honest. But
yeah, I mean, I don't have like a bunch of huge issues. There's just some little tweaks, like
yeah. I mean,
I don't like the
certainly
action bar up top because when I use my phone, my hand's at the bottom of my phone, so I don't want to like reach up to the top and press like all the buttons. Now I don't know that that's a good design idea.
That's a bad design with Android in general.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, Android in general. Yeah.
The slide out drawer, and I know I'm probably in the minority here, but I have like 5 email accounts in there, and it like takes up half of the drawer. Like in the iOS version, like there's a little drop down so you can switch, and it gives you a better view. They should have that in Android version. I still don't get why they're so drastically different, but
well, I'm betting the teams are totally separate.
They probably just hate each other.
Yeah. I wish there was like theme options. Someone mentioned like a dark theme. That would look sweet because like after using Falcon for the past day now, and you use the gray theme, like it's nice because it's just like it has a slide out and all that, but like you got dark gray, light gray, some white text on that. I mean, it's like you can easily read it, and I think it just looks a lot classier. And plus, a lot of the like Super AMOLED and all these other displays, they just don't show white very well.
No.
And so when all these apps are based on white backgrounds and all that stuff, it just looks poopy. Mm-hmm. So it'd be nice if they just gave us some dark themes. I mean, it's not that hard to, make that happen. You know what? I'm probably going to go to the Roots wiki after this and find like a blacked out version of it.
Yeah, I'm sure it already exists.
There'll be one,
It has to. Someone in the IRC, link me.
Link me, bro.
Yeah, because I don't want to have.
I really like that. Like Falcon and Feedly both have dark versions and light versions. At night, I use my phone at night, turn the light off, and then in the morning I use it again, and like the gray Gmail just goes. It would be nice to have a dark version.
Well, unfortunately, white is Google's style now with Google Now and everything, so we're not going to be getting away from that.
Well, that'd be fun. Just make the Gmail app white. I mean, just do it. Don't make it this weird off gray for crying out. Like nothing else is off gray. It looks crappy. It looks like Android 1.0. That's what it looks like.
Well, it looks
Is it really gray?
messy.
Yeah,
it's
like off gray. Yeah.
It's messy. Like when you look in your inbox, it's just a jumbled mess of text.
Yep.
And
yeah, it looks so bad.
It looks really bad. Like when you have the slide out bar, it's kind of nice because it hides your inbox and it's messiness. That's why I want Mailbox to come to Android because like they make email they make email look good and like I don't want to look at this anymore.
Make email look good.
Like this is kind of ugly now that I'm looking at it like more deeply.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. You want to look at it deeply.
So this is depressing.
So now that you're like looking at it and getting depressed, turn the colored images off. It looks really terrible. Like it reverts back to the old version, and then there's no color to even make you smile. It's just like depressing and gray. It's like it's raining.
Also, like
it's raining on your screen.
When you get to Inbox 0 on the iOS version, there's like a little happy sun smiling at you saying, "Hey, enjoy your day. You're out of email." On here, it's just blank, just nothingness. Like your life has nothing going on here, and that's not happy.
Makes you
What
sad.
the hell, Google? You don't want me to have a good day anymore?
No.
Wow, you're right, man. This does suck.
And is anyone using the those new like folders for promotions?
Oh,
No.
God, no.
Oh, hell no.
I made sure I could turn
junk.
them on, and then I turned them off.
No one wants that junk.
That is a terrible idea. I
Who
tried to
thought of
switch to it.
that?
And I was like, I
Tired
can't
of
live
that.
without my priority inbox, and I like switched back immediately. But
Yeah.
I don't even need priority inbox. I just don't want those stupid tabs. They're not helpful.
Yeah.
Who uses that?
no, I don't know.
Like it seems like they pulled like their cousin that lives in like Montana that they're trying to decide like how do you use
Yeah, Montana.
These are the
That's
three.
from Montana.
Yeah, what's
Okay.
up with that, man?
Well, it's a flyover state. What do you want me to do?
It's
You're saying you fly there?
Man.
Whatever, Montana.
Like I was saying,
Stupid Montana.
they clearly pulled somebody from a flyover state and said, "Hey, what 3 categories do you have in your Gmail that you really care about?" And then they put those in. And it was horrible. I mean, who uses that?
I don't know. It was a labs feature forever, right? Like you could actually use those if you enable them in labs, I think, and then they decided to upgrade them to.
But that was the beauty of labs, is you saw all those horrible ideas, and then the 3 really good ones, and you turned on the 3 good ones and ignored the really bad ones.
Yeah,
that
you
were
didn't
there.
have to use the other crappy ones.
Yeah.
I'm sure you don't have to use this, but I don't even know why they integrated it in the first place.
As long as that we don't like in 3 months they go, you have to use these. We're forcing you. Then. Yeah, that might cause some problems.
Well, then I'm going to Mailbox. Bring it on.
We probably all will just go, go to Mailbox.
Yeah.
If it's out.
Once Mailbox comes out, I guarantee we'll all fall in love with it. I have a feeling. So
We'll see.
That's that.
You have to get used to it, but yeah. I just want Mailbox 0 or whatever the hell it's called. Inbox 0? What's it called?
Inbox 0.
Inbox 0.
Yeah, Merlin Mann.
Awesome. Well, someone just dropped a Hannah Montana holla in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the best of both worlds.
I was just sitting in it last
I
weekend,
get it.
and no one was talking about promotions folders. So it must have been South Dakota that approved that.
Mm-hmm. It's another flyover.
That's definitely a flyover.
So the Galaxy S4 Active is now official.
It's
Unless you
pronounced
guys want to talk
active.
about Gmails more.
Active.
Oh yeah. The Galaxy S4 Active is now official, and Eric and I were just talking about how we kind of like this one a lot. Like, it doesn't have a 13 megapixel camera; it has an 8 megapixel, which is kind of a good thing in a way. You don't have 8 megabit files; you can actually take normal pictures. The look is actually kind of cool. It's a little more rugged. It's got the same processor, at least we're pretty sure, as the regular Galaxy S4. It's got 2 gig of RAM. It's got a 5-inch LCD display, 1080p, instead of the Super AMOLED, so it's kind of a trade-off there, whichever you like. But for the most part, it's the same phone, but it's water resistant. It can hold or last up to a meter underwater for 30 minutes or something like that. Dust resistant. The headphone jack is water resistant. It actually looks kind of cool.
I think the colors look cool. Like,
Yeah, that orange is pretty badass.
I would take the blue probably, but either way, it's cool. But man, I mean, like, look at those buttons and all that stuff.
No, I just
Okay,
realized
so
that
the
it doesn't
buttons are
have
terrible.
it doesn't have the giant Galaxy home button anymore, and I love it.
Well,
That's probably why
it's
I
got
like it.
just
three
one
other ugly
huge
buttons.
button. What are you talking about?
No, they're segmented up like the old capacitive buttons.
Right, yeah. That's still ugly, and it's still... 2013. Like, I don't know, like.
Yeah, but it's
Hey,
a
Eric,
different
can you
kind
hear
of
me
ugly.
back there in 2011?
Hashtag 2013.
Like, come on, bro.
Those buttons do look like they're straight out of like 2010, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but other than that, I think it's a cool looking device. They kind of hard to tell from like the picture they put up of that orange one, but it looks like it's like a brown front plate. You know what I mean? It looks brown on my screen at least.
It's bronze.
Look right now.
Bronze,
Oh
maybe.
yeah, it's like bronzy, coppery something.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's
Like the
nasty.
Statue of Liberty when it first was made.
What I thought was interesting was that it actually has an underwater camera mode, so they're like encouraging you to dunk it in water and
Yep.
take
And what it
the
does is, if there's a bubble, it puts your face in there as you're taking the picture.
I think that's fantastic. I think that's great. Samsung, God, they're smart. No,
So smart.
I think it's very neat, but we'll see. I don't know how much like girth it'll add, how it'll mess with your in hand.
It's only 9.1 millimeters thick or something. It's
And what's the
pretty big
S4?
size.
What's the S4 exactly?
Oh, probably like 8.6 or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
that
can't be much
that
more
is a
or less.
huge difference.
That's
So that's
Yeah.
like going from the iPhone 4S to the iPhone 5, man. It's huge.
Man, you can't deal with that.
Yeah. So either way, we'll see. Once I get my hands on one and I
Yeah.
throw it in the lake and all that stuff, we'll see.
Wow.
Probably going to AT&T. Verizon maybe will get it in like October or something.
I was thinking holiday season.
They'll tweet about
Yeah.
it through VZW News. Just
Yep.
let you know.
All
Yeah.
red version.
And why did you say probably coming to AT&T? It's almost practically confirmed a la leak that
Oh yeah, I
That
think
it's
it
coming to
even stopped by
AT&T.
FCC or something too. So yes,
Oh,
it's
okay.
going to AT&T people.
yeah.
Again,
Is it going to be on Viva Mobile, though?
Viva Mobile.
That's the question that everyone's been asking.
I need to know if I can get my Active on Viva Mobile.
Yeah, because modern Latinos like to be active.
With
In the
their
water.
children.
Yeah.
In the water and the dust.
and use Facebook.
Yeah, with their kids. Just hanging out in the watery,
And
dusty water.
God, J-Lo, you were racist. Anyways.
Racist J-Lo. Making new networks for people to get their phones.
What a weird thing.
Oh,
That thing
so
still
weird.
makes me laugh.
Why
It's-
did that happen? Seems like that was like a
We
Twilight
got-
Zone thing.
like you said, Eric, we got an entire Viva Mobile press conference. The HTC One gets a tweet from
Yeah, they-
like,
Yeah,
Well,
not even
that's after-
140 characters.
That's after HTC saying, yeah, we're going to make a big deal about it when it comes to Verizon.
You'll know when something's coming. Don't worry about it.
And all they did was like retweet Verizon's tweet. Like,
Boom.
Yeah.
They
So-
blew your
I was
mind.
gonna say because we haven't even heard from HTC. They
Did you
just
guys,
like.
did you guys feel that retweet right there? Did you feel that?
Yeah. It's kind of
I felt it right here.
Mm.
Right here.
Viva Mobile. Modern Latino.
The modern Latino.
When I'm
What does that
actively
mean?
shopping with my children in the dusty water, trying to take pictures.
Modern Caucasian.
Yeah, when are we going to store for white people?
According to
open one.
J-Lo, they're already all over. That's all they are.
Oh, I have stores for me. Well, that's good.
Yeah, you can go to the Gap, Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh, great.
They're gonna go to Viva Mobile.
They're going to sell everything. I have clothes.
Gonna sell everything. It's a one-stop shop for.
Well, there needs to be like a
Latinos.
Viva Mobile store inside of a Best Buy, like a store inside of the store.
Oh,
right
and
next
then
to the
just-
Samsung shop.
yeah,
Yeah.
they-
Store
have their-
section.
Yeah, they have their like daycare center in there and all that stuff.
Oh, God.
Really great.
Do they have a daycare? Do they have that? What?
Yes, they have a
No, they
daycare
have
at Viva Mobile.
Yeah,
Right?
They
Didn't
have
she say that?
They have a play center for kids, so they can be
Oh.
busy while mommy and daddy shop.
Okay,
It's not like a
play center
daycare.
and daycare are like
Okay.
really different things. I was like,
Yeah,
what's going on right now?
You know what I'm saying, though. It's where they just drop
Uh.
off the kids and say, "Shut up while mommy does her thing." So
Yeah, but why the hell do they need a toy center or hangout thing for kids in a? Yeah.
because
Well,
it's
I mean, if you had
kids.
kids and you were trying to listen to a salesperson and you don't know what's going on with phones and you got your kids screaming the entire time, I mean,
Exactly.
So the modern Latino doesn't go anywhere without their kids, is what they're saying.
Modern Latino. We need a definition of that.
I hate that. I just hate that
Urban
phrase.
Dictionary
Like that just seems so wrong.
the modern Latino.
The modern Latino, and now they like social networks and all this like weird.
Yeah,
stuff.
now they do. They did it before. They didn't even know what they were.
They have to be modern in order to like Facebook and all that.
What does that even mean? Like, I don't.
I don't know. It's really bad.
Worst. It's the
It was
worst.
pretty bad.
It was awful.
Oh wow.
All right, let's talk about some apps and games if we have any. Google Keyboard, official Google Keyboard, now available on Google Play for free. It's it's essentially the 4.2 keyboard, but it works all the way back to Ice Cream Sandwich 4.0. It's got the gesture typing, predicting while you're gesturing, all that fun stuff.
It's
actually
huge.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
big stuff.
Big stuff. Another keyboard that I was obsessed with for the weekend and have switched off of is Flexi. Did anyone try Flexi out for a while, or could you just not handle it?
I tried it. Yeah, I tried it for about 10 minutes, and then you got me into like the whole full screen invisible, and then I'm like, wait, how do I get numbers? How do I get blah blah blah? I'm like,
So
this
awesome.
is stupid. So yeah, but now
You
I'm all
definitely
about
had
that
to-
Google keyboard.
Yeah, you definitely had to like read the instruction manual for Flexi to find out all the shortcuts and crap. I
Exactly.
used it all weekend. I was dominating some text in Montana, and
Oh god.
I was
Just hanging out, looking at all those planes fly right on a.
Oh,
Dominating
my
some text
Lord.
messages.
I was flexing on my but you could like I figured
You're
out all
sending
the
Snapchats of you flexing the entire time. That's cool.
I figured out all the swipe gestures, but there's just some things about it that took way too long. I was like, I could just be typing instead of
Were you-
swiping. Like
you
I could hit the
flexing as you're
space
hitting your
bar instead
swipes?
of like you just kept going like this the whole time.
Do you want to flex
So
those
I-
right now, just so everybody else? I know I got the Snapchats, but I'm not sure everybody else got those. Do you want to just
I didn't.
show off what you got?
I'm the master
Uh,
Snapchatter here.
Just
and I
show
get
us your flexing gesture. It's fine.
Pretty sure those were deleted already.
No, I screenshot it. Don't worry.
Screenshotted my
He would have
Snapchat.
known. He would have known that if he would have screenshotted it. Hi, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Flexi, it's beta. You can't actually get it unless you join the community, Google Plus community. Nice little keyboard start. Anyway. So anyways, anybody else got something? Vine, Tim, you want to talk about Vine?
You just mentioned for a second those beta communities.
Yes, I did.
And I think that's a very nice step forward, I think, for a lot of developers that are doing that. There's one now for sliding messaging, Nova Launcher. What was the other one that came out that was really important?
Falcon Pro.
Falcon Pro, baby. And yeah, and speaking of Falcon Pro, thank you. How do you pronounce his name? Joaquin?
Could be.
Yeah, Joaquin, I think. Yeah, but either way, man, what a fantastic app now that it has multi-user account support.
Because
et cetera,
you were
et
complaining about that last week, right? Was it last week?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like he listened to
Yeah.
the Droid Life.
Nope. He listened.
Show.
He listened. Yeah, he came over to my house. He personally apologized. He said, "Bro, I'm sorry. I need your $2. I'm gonna need that, and then I'll give you more."
I saw you got a refund.
Yeah. And so and he had my address
sorry,
because
but
Google
I'm
gives
gonna
way
need
too
your
much info to
$2.
developers, and yeah, it's fantastic. So I like that app. Also, so yeah, the Google Plus communities. I think that's such a fantastic idea. How you can just like log in like that. It's such a painless process too. Like you don't have to be chosen. You can just be invited or invite yourself. I think that's fantastic. So there's going to be a whole bunch of people out there running beta apps, and I think it's great. That's a fantastic step.
I have one question though. If you're part of the beta and you get obviously the beta releases, then if like the stable release comes out, I'm assuming you just get that over top of your beta.
That's what I would think. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I would assume that's
Yeah,
how it works.
or you would probably be notified, that the stable version's out. Maybe you just can just uninstall the beta. I don't know, man.
I don't know how that works. I'm sure
we
that's how
don't
it
know
works
yet.
though.
Yeah.
Every time
Separate
they
app.
release a new build, I'm sure you get it whether it's beta or stable. But,
That's what I would think. Yes, I
Yeah.
like that.
but it's a nice idea for Google to get more people to use Google Plus.
Yeah,
You can
absolutely.
report bugs and they can talk about stuff in their community, and that you have to join it in order to get these beta tests. So yeah,
Yeah,
Good
I
idea,
think it's
Google.
good job, Google. I appreciate that. So beyond that, I wanted to chat real quick about my app of the week. It's not my favorite app of the week, but it is my app of the week, and it's my decently semi-okay app of the week. It's called Vine, and man, is it? It's not so hot. Like it's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. Basically, they're having I don't know, that app is run so slow. Ron, I know you mentioned that iOS version is kind of like that too, but
Sometimes.
this app feels like alpha stage, not even close
explain
to
what it is.
public release. I
Explain
will
Vine.
get, yeah, sorry. No one knows what Vine is? So Vine is Well, Vine has been is owned by Twitter. It's been an iOS exclusive thing for quite a while now.
Exclusive.
They bought it just before it went live, which is why
Right.
it was iOS only.
Right. So basically, it's a moving picture GIF thing. It's kind of like Instagram, but with moving pictures and audio. So it's a great place for like really creative.
Video loops.
Yeah, it's like a great place for very creative people. Like I found some really cool people to follow, and like they use it very well. I think it's like really funny stuff. But yeah, so it's kind of hard to explain. Yeah, video like Instagram, but for videos, like
videos.
Cinemagram.
There's no filters or anything now.
No filters, no crap, just pure video, audio.
Should I make a Vine right now of what's happening?
Yes.
Yeah. Ah, that's a fantastic. This
Can
could
it
be my
actually
first Vine.
install on the Purple Razor?
It's installed. It's initializing right now.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that even means, why it's initializing.
So the app kind of sucks, though, right? Like the initial launch, there was missing features or something, right? I haven't used it much, so I don't.
Yeah,
really
the app
know.
blows, to be honest.
Okay, I'm
Like-
going to start recording.
The first time that they updated it and it actually kind of started working, like it breaks the Galaxy S4's camera. So say it just goes black, and now if I open up the regular camera app, it's just black, and it
nice.
just doesn't even work. So that's. Oh yeah, I like mine. So either way, yeah, it just doesn't really work that well. So what else is there to say? I mean, I hope that they release fixes for it and that it works better. And yeah, so their servers have issues. You're trying to like scroll through the feed and it's just like slow, laggy, jumping all over the place. It's frustrating. Like I want things to work and it's just no good.
Yeah, this is different. So it does like, so now I've seen the processing screen that you guys were complaining about before, processing then rendering. So on iOS, it uploads and then the processing, and then it says like processing on the other end. So
Unbelievable.
this is different and not as good.
The only problem I've had with it is when you're on the main feed and you like pull the refresh, it'll usually just snap back to the one that you're watching and then decide to refresh like 15 seconds later, and then sometimes it'll pull down the little circle, refreshing icon.
Can you see that? Camera failed.
Rest in peace, camera.
Yeah, that's what Vine does to my Galaxy S4. Thank you, Vine.
This is my Vine that I took. I don't know if you guys can see that beauty.
I'm gonna go like
nice.
it.
Yeah.
On mine.
I'm gonna post this.
Good.
Oh, and you can't post to Facebook. That's too bad. Sorry, they
You can't even. It's not even liking something. You smiley face something.
Yeah,
I don't,
just like on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't like it. I want to like it though because I found some like Will Sasso and Dirt Nasty and like there's a couple guys who I follow and I really enjoy so far. So I hope that they keep delivering content. Bless you.
Thank you.
And yeah, so other than that, Vine for Android, go pick it up because it'll break your camera.
It's one of those services that looks really cool that I would love to use, but you have to be kind of creative to use it. Like you have 6 seconds to create like a cool little video, and I kept trying to come up with stuff, and I was like, I'm just not that interesting, and I just put it away.
Yeah.
And then I tried to just find people that were doing
The fun
it.
part about it is you touch and hold to record, and then you can stop and then record something else, and then it'll automatically just stitch it together. So
yeah, my buddy and I do videos every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some of those. Those were
Wait, what does that mean?
Were interesting.
You know what I'm talking about. If you
Is
guys
that
want to
like
go to,
Yeah, that's what I
word for
said. They
something?
were interesting.
yep, if you go to simulsnare.com, you can see all of our snare videos. Yeah, my buddy Josh. But I think I don't know. It's kind of cool. I mean, the thing for me when I was first playing with it, there's a website you guys can go to called. That's a great video you're doing, Tim. There's a website called VinePeak.com, and it'll show you the most recent video, and then on the page of refresh and show you the most recent video. So it just shows you all the most recent videos on Vine, which is pretty cool. Like just seeing sometimes it's crap and sometimes it's awesome. But then even like, I got on there, and then if you do hashtag NYC and look through that, you can see all the videos that are happening in New York. And that was kind of cool, just like seeing all the different things that are happening throughout the city. So, I mean, it's definitely a fun app to play with. I mean, in terms of like making content, it's going to be about as good as Instagram. You got to be a little creative to get a lot of value out of it. But I don't know. We have fun with it. We like making videos and doing that, and that's kind of a creative outlet. And otherwise, it's kind of cool to see all the stuff that people are putting up.
Now, did you guys hear about the kid that broke Vine
Yes.
when it came out?
And put up, he rickrolled them.
Yeah, there was an Android user that when it came out, he took the APK and decompiled it, and found out that the only check on how long your video can be is in the app itself. So he just changed that and then re-uploaded it, and then uploaded the whole music video to Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up." And the Vine team was very upset, apparently.
Really? That's hilarious.
No, that is hilarious.
Well, that's what happens when you only take 5 hours to make an app.
Seriously,
That's all they had.
a half-bacon app. Yeah.
It was good. It was
They
good
made it in
stuff.
6 seconds.
Lesson learned: Android users are hackers and they're cheap. So remember that.
Yo, there was still, I was looking around when it first came out that first day, and there were still some iPhone people. Remember the first week when Instagram first came out for Android, and there was a bunch of iPhone people just really salty that Android users were on there? That happened again on
Oh, did it? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I started browsing around the hashtag Android, and some people were salty, to say the least.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They can suck it. Anybody else?
I don't know. I mean, it's the thing about that kind of thing is like there are a lot of Android phones out there that have really lousy cameras. So like even if you
Here we go.
even if you have everything else lined up with a great shot, I mean, my friend had I think it was a Desire.
Oh God.
And like everything just looked blurry, and so like the shots themselves, like everything would be, everything's fine, but just every single shot looked blurry. Like she had like the blurry filter on everything. I'm like, you just need to get a new phone. Like this is not looking good.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's some I'm not saying that iOS users were totally, in their right to do that, because I think that the app should be available everywhere. But when you've got lousy hardware, that kind of just sucks it up.
Whoa. Lousy hardware.
Just saying.
Man.
Yep, that just happened.
It did. This happened. So yeah, hopefully they improve Vine soon.
Yeah.
And hopefully I get creative so I can use it.
Yeah.
I'm just expecting a ton of vines about your cats and.
It'll be all cat vines. That's all it'll be.
Good.
Just tell a story with your cats. 6 seconds at a time. Oh, and check out Jillian Jacobs from Community. She has really, really funny vines.
Oh, really? Nice.
Tim's shaking his head because apparently he hates on Community. I don't know what his deal is, but
I don't know what Community is.
What?
TV show.
It's the show that gets canceled and then uncanceled more times than any other show in the history of the planet.
I don't watch TV.
Joel McHale, Jillian Jacobs.
How do you have time for TV? Like, where's that coming from?
I don't, but when I did, I watched Community.
Okay. So you're saying it used to be a good show?
I don't know. I don't have cable, so I don't watch it anymore. But it's good.
Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, Jillian Jacobs, she's great on there.
All right, cool.
Very
I'll
funny.
check it out.
Yeah.
Check out Will Sasso if you haven't. I'm sure you have. You have to follow Will Sasso. He's hysterical.
I don't even know who that is. Is that bad?
No, he's the guy from Mad TV. He's like the bigger guy. He did the Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions. He was also in the Three Stooges, the new one they just did.
How do you have time for TV and movies, Tim? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me.
What do you mean? I work from home. I always have time for movies and TV.
That's right. I forgot about that little detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm working.
Yeah.
This Mad TV is great.
So yeah, either way, Will Sasso. I like
Do
it.
you guys have any other apps, games, anything besides Sonic?
What was that one? What was that one game I've been playing? It's I forget. Oh, Granny Smith. But that joke is old.
That's old.
Yeah. Other than that, I haven't been playing anything new really.
I don't feel like a lot of apps have come out in the last week or two.
No,
it seems like it's
there
been a little
hasn't.
slow in the app front,
I
other than
agree.
Google releasing things.
There is one thing. Auralux. You pronounce it or not pronounce, but spell AURALUX. Auralux. It used to be Tegra exclusive for the longest time, and even I talked to the guys at NVIDIA, and they said that game would never not be Tegra exclusive. And just this week, I guess it hit Google Play, not a Tegra exclusive. So I downloaded it on the S4, and it's totally awesome.
What do you do?
What do you do? You're like a little colony of little light beams or something, then you go and send your little people out, and the bigger you are, the more you grow, and you dominate these little levels, and other color colonies try and take the same stars. Very interesting.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you've seen me write about it or something. But
yeah, this is very, very, very similar to another game.
yeah, of course. But this one's called Auralux, so it's different.
It's different.
And,
It's stars instead of planets.
Exactly.
What is that thing called? It's like Gala something.
Galaxy Conquest. But yeah, either way, so Orlux, if you like little strategy games that take forever to play, like this game, like you have to like pay 99 cents to get like an expedited version to where you can speed up the levels, or else you're going to be sitting on the same level for like a half hour sometimes. And you know, it's good if you got nothing else going on, but yeah. Other than that, I have no apps and games.
Yeah, I don't know anything else either. Actually, I did want to mention though that we're doing our show off your home screens day today.
Oh yeah.
So if you guys haven't looked at any of those, it gave me like new motivation to like create a beautiful home screen. Like people put up some cool stuff once again. They always do, but like I even changed my lock screen since then and all kinds of crap. So anyways, go check that out if you guys haven't already. Lots of good stuff in there. Oh yeah, there's like 60 comments or something. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else. Any other hot topics you guys have floating around you want to talk about?
No. I think I'm good. I feel Eric's dying, but
I am
Eric is
slowly.
dying. Did anyone want to talk about the new ComScore numbers or anything?
Meh.
man.
I'm just a second. Did everybody see Star Trek in the Darkness yet? Can we talk about that?
Yes,
I
finally.
saw it. Yeah.
Who said no? Eric, did you say no?
Yeah.
What is
Oh,
wrong?
okay, great.
I saw Now You
Saw
See Me.
Gatsby though,
instead.
didn't you?
No, I saw that like 3 weeks ago. I saw Now You See Me this weekend.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not out in your theater yet because you live in a flyover state too, right?
Yeah,
Is that
pretty much.
Is that what's happening? That's not Star
Please.
Trek yet.
Yeah.
Please tell me that no one saw or plans to see After Earth.
After
No.
Which one's that one? Is that the Will
The
Smith
Will
one?
Smith movie.
That's Will
It
Smith.
looks horrible. The trailer
M.
looks
Night
bad.
Shyamalan. It's M. Night
Yeah.
Shyamalan.
I
The
just
worst
saw-
director in the history of
Shyamalan
every
the Ding
director.
Dong.
Shouldn't we should be talking about the internship instead, though, right? Because
That
it's
movie looks just as
Google
terrible.
Android related.
No.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
but
see that movie either.
But it's the greatest like partnership in movie history. It's Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson.
Did you see their red carpet photos? They showed up in Google driverless cars.
No, but
No,
that's
really.
really cool.
Yeah.
Is
I
it
mean,
though?
it's no, well, okay. I mean,
Is
I
it
know,
though, really?
I know some people who would think that's cool, but I mean, to us, we're all, we don't care about that stuff. But yeah, we try and act too cool. You know what I mean? Like the driverless cars. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? But it just doesn't even faze us. I don't know.
It just seems a little too nerdy at this point.
Yeah.
No, Google Glass seems nerdy. I'd be down with a driverless car. Cruise around.
Oh yeah, it'd be great. I just don't know if I'd show up to a movie premiere in a beta car, basically. That's what
Alpha car.
Yeah.
It's not ready for release yet.
Seriously
That's
though,
right.
Now You See Me was a really good movie. I know
Okay.
Star Trek
Reviews are
was,
mixed.
was
Never
gonna
even
be
heard
good,
of it.
But
now,
do you
now
hear?
you see me?
Jesse Eisenberg,
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg.
It's
Mark
the Facebook
Ruffalo.
kid.
pretty good.
Oh,
pretty good
Ella
movie.
Fisher. Yeah, it's Mark
Oh.
Ruffalo, Ella Fisher, and somebody else.
Yeah.
I will not see that movie. I'm sorry. That
Oh,
looks. That
I'm
looks
telling you,
Oh,
dude.
Morgan
You'd be
Freeman's in it.
surprised. Yeah, Morgan Freeman. You'd be surprised, Tim.
It's gotten mixed reviews though, so I mean,
It's gotten mixed reviews, yeah.
you know what
looks
hasn't
decent.
gotten
I'll
mixed
watch it at
reviews?
some
Star
point.
Trek Into Darkness.
Yeah, that movie's good.
It's good.
So
It is
good.
good.
Yeah, it's
So good.
Yeah, go see it. I'm sure everyone has. It's been out for like a month. Well, except for Eric.
Except for
Yeah.
you.
I need to do that.
Come on.
Maybe I'll have some free time this week.
Are you a Star Trek guy or a Star Wars guy? I mean,
No, I'm really. I wanted to see that when we went there, but she was like, "Nah, I don't want to see Star Trek."
I want to
So
see
was like,
Gatsby.
"All right."
Why wouldn't your mom want to see Star Trek?
yeah, just go in your own theater, man. Just do your own thing.
Yeah, totally.
No, I'll go this weekend.
Okay. I think that's a
It'll be
good
like
place to
5
end
minutes.
right there.
Good save there, Tim. Man, I didn't have anything. I'm glad you had something. I wasn't ready yet. I had something else. That was
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, let's cut it out right there. That's good enough for me. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Droid Live Show episode 27 in the books. We'll be back next week, I'm pretty sure. Same time, all that good stuff.
good. Yes.
Totally. Peace.